Welcome everyone. We are Group 7, and our members are Wasif, William, Sandeep, and Vipul. I'm glad you could join us for our presentation, An Exploration into Cybersecurity. We hope you enjoy our video. I am William, and I will be speaking to you today about a hot topic that should be on everyone's mind. There are a couple of reasons cybersecurity is gaining more attention in today's world, especially in the US. First, take a look at the US map in green. As you can see, more than half of people in every state believe U.S. infrastructure will be attacked in the next 5 years. And how can you blame them? Every time you turn on the TV, you are seeing another story about a huge breach or foreign nation hacking attempt. As a result, shown in this pie chart, over half of Americans indicated that they feel their data is less secure today than it was 5 years ago. When all of this is combined with the fact that Americans have serious trust issues with each other, regardless of age, as shown by the bar graph, you can start to see why so many people have a pessimistic attitude about their data security. You may ask yourself, how can this affect me? Okay, folks, let's get a little personal here. Have you ever been hacked? If so, you know how it feels. You've been violated, you're mad, and uncertain about the future. This is because the data that hackers go after is always the most private and personal information about your life. As you see, this can include social security numbers, bank or credit card data, email account information, or even health records. If your data has been stolen, we know this can be a very tough time. But have no fear. We are here to educate you and arm you with the information that you can use to help keep your data safe and secure. I'd like you to join me now as we take a deeper look into how a specific industry can be affected by data breaches. In the healthcare industry, millions of personal records are breached each year. Take a moment to view the color legend to the right. We have highlighted the two most recent years the same color to illustrate that healthcare breaches are a growing problem. Not only can criminals commit crimes like obtaining prescription drugs or committing insurance fraud under your name, they can also sell health data at a premium on the dark web, exposing your data to even more cybercriminals. Now that you understand the scale and impact of data breaches, you are probably wondering what you can do to help protect yourself and your family from being the victim of one of these breaches. Due to high amounts of media attention on this matter, Americans have been putting more pressure on lawmakers to pass legislation which will hopefully help reduce data breaches. As a result, U.S. states are introducing and passing more and more legislation each year. To analyze this, we pulled data from the National Conference of State Legislatures. This group has been tracking cybersecurity legislation since 2015. They track bills and resolutions that propose such things as increasing penalties for cybercrime, mandating businesses and government to develop certain security practices, and increasing security funding to protect against infrastructure threats. In 2017, over 80% of U.S. states introduced some type of cybersecurity legislation. Of around 240 bills introduced, 66 were actually adopted by the states. This is up significantly from 2015 and 2016, and we expect this trend to continue into the future. This is what real progress looks like. Now, we will glance through the past 3 years as cybersecurity legislation has seen rapid growth. As you can see in 2015, only around 20 states even attempted to pass legislation, with around half of those having some measure of success. Some progress was made in 2016, but despite that, this was a big year for cybercrime, with the largest amount of records stolen in history, but we will come back to that in a moment. As you view the 2017 data, you can see obvious progress. You may be wondering the reason for this. Well, during 2016, approximately 4.6 billion individual records were compromised, 3 billion alone from the infamous record-setting Yahoo user data breach. People across the U.S. were taking notice of this regardless of geographic region. This lit a proverbial fire under citizens and lawmakers alike, evidenced by the data presented on the 2017 map. Again, you will see some states passing a full 100% of laws introduced, such as Utah, New Mexico, Louisiana, New Hampshire, Delaware, and Indiana. Gone are the days of considering cyber laws as nice to have. People's lives and families have been destroyed by these hacks, and the people have collectively started to rise against cybercriminals. Now, we want to present some great news. While comparing our findings on cybersecurity laws and data breaches, we found an interesting trend. Although cybersecurity legislation is in its infancy, the current trend is quite positive. Our data shows that, in the aggregate, as more laws have been passed, fewer personal records have been breached over time. This is very positive and encouraging news, which will hopefully continue over time. We cannot overstate the need for more cybersecurity laws and cooperation between governments to stamp out all forms of cybercrime. There are a number of things you can do to help protect yourself against these cybercrimes. You may be aware of the strategies, such as keeping strong passwords, but we want to identify some lesser-known techniques. These include using a secure messaging app with data encryption, such as Signal, checking your access logs on your personal accounts for unfamiliar IP addresses, and using encryption on your personal computer files with a program such as Blocker. In summary, we encourage you to do everything you can to help advance future cyber legislation. This includes contacting your state representatives and letting them know that you take cybercrime seriously and you will vote for those politicians who make this a focus and priority. We hope that you've enjoyed our presentation and learned something along the way. We will leave you with a quote by Richard Clark, former National Coordinator for Security, Infrastructure Protection, and Counterterrorism for the U.S. According to Richard, if you spend more on coffee than on IT security, you will be hacked. What's more, you deserve to be. Thank you for your time. Now go out there and fight.